Hello all. Hi, this is Ronak.
Hi, this is Aparna.
Hope you all are doing well today. In this podcast session, we are going to talk about trends, market potential, services and solutions on audio video meeting room technology. Now, you might think, why this topic? Let's look at the reasons why this market is hot today and will continue to do so. I feel meeting rooms was a sleeping dragon and COVID stepped on its tail, because of which AV industry is buzzing right now with optimism. Please note, we will publish a separate series just for meeting room as a service and cover the details there. If I cover here, we'll be talking non-stop for at least a couple of hours. Now, objectives of the session is to talk on potential market trends and business opportunities in the meeting space, current problem statements and the solutions to the problem statements, benefits of achieving the solutions, monitoring and automation of meeting room technology, different meeting room platforms, different hardware providers, and various service integrators already providing AV services in the space today. So let's begin.
Absolutely, Ronak. But why are we even talking about this today? Let us look at the market potential for 2022. As per Gartner, Everest, and Oxford Economics, this industry has the potential to generate around $3 billion in revenue with a CAGR of 15% till 2031. When we talk about the current and emerging demand trends in this space, like redesigning workplaces, video first collaboration, virtual or in-office user experience parity, or now the talk of the town, which is meeting in the metaverse, AR, VR, etc., we have significantly pushed this change, and hence the dragon is awake. If we also, apart from Gartner, look at Forrester or total economic impact reports for MS Teams and their devices, it is clear that meeting room transformation are necessary. First of all, because meeting room connectivity and technology has improved and promoted work from anywhere concept. Moreover, it has eliminated travel and hence saved lots of costs. It has also reduced IT costs, as most can be fixed remotely now. I think the cost has also been optimized due to platform consolidation. Now, this is a very exciting field and is buzzing with opportunities. However, unlike any field or like any field, there are many problem statements that our customers have. So what are some of the problems, Ronak, that you come across?
One of the biggest concerns that we have heard from our customers is around AV service integration piece. What this means is single provider providing AV services globally, which includes services like room designing, deployment, operations, hardware procurement, support, device lifecycle management, decom, etc., etc. Today's enterprises have siloed AV integrators, and a lot of vendor management clerical work falls on customer IT and facility. This is not efficient. And the other problem statement that we have come across is, especially in the meeting room space, previously it was under the ownership of facility. Now, because of the advancement, it is moving into the ownership of IT. So because of this transition, a lot of the customers are facing issues. The second most difficult or problem with meeting rooms is to forecast the cost. If you have thousands of meeting rooms, with the advancement of technology, it is difficult to forecast the cost for the next 3 years and obviously beyond 3 years. Another problem, a major problem statement that we have is the AV development or deployment companies are very AV focused, and IT service providers are very IT service focused. The merger has not yet happened, and that's why enterprises are facing issues with meeting room as a service solutions. Now we can talk on the list, but at a high level, some of the major problem statements that today's enterprises are facing in the AV room solutions is, first of all, one size does not fit all. There is no end-to-end ownership and responsibility of the entire meeting room. Process and product standardization has not yet happened. It is happening, but it's slow. There is a missing, the thought leadership is missing. What that means is, because of the advancement in the technology, whatever new that's coming in the market is not being shared with customers, and that's the problem. From a user experience, the experience is impaired. A company can have WebEx, Teams, and Zoom all in the meeting room, and user will have to have issues. User will face issues depending on the type of meeting is joining. There is inconsistent usability, supportability, and inconsistency in the AV technology deployments. Procurement, as we all know, due to chip shortage and other reasons, there are global hardware delays. From a management, there is not a single pane of glass monitoring or managing the entire meeting rooms globally. There is heavy on-site intervention instead of remote services, etc. And then obviously with the sustainability quotient, there are improper disposal that's being practiced, which is causing environmental challenges and etc. etc. Now companies have come back with solutions, but these are some of the issues that we have seen as per today. But with having said that, there are solutions to the problem, and that's where the whole meeting room as a service comes into play. So Aparna, would you like to talk about some of the solutions that you think in this space?
Absolutely, Ronak. So you mentioned it very correctly that with any technology, there comes a problem. With any platform, there comes a problem, but also it is accompanied by solutions. So when we talk about meeting room as a service, while it is a buzzing space, it is an exciting space to work on. Meeting room as a service consists of four primary phases. If I may explain, before explaining the solutions, I want to take you through this. These four phases, these comprises of service assessment and service design, which is a requirement, procurement of hardware, software licenses, deployment and installation, management, operations, and adoption, of course. When we talk about these four phases, it is important for us to understand in detail what do we mean by service assessment and design, or management, operations, and adoption, and others. When we talk about assessment and design, it is, it is clear that the activities that would fall under assessment and design would include understanding the entire infrastructure of the client in terms of exchange, AD, security network, etc. Also, to understand what current devices are being used for meeting rooms for the client or the customer, and the peripherals which are attached to it. Are there multiple vendors, or what are the current vendors with whom the company is working? What are the design and installation followed across the organization? Is there a vision towards new rooms? Are there any new rooms being ordered? How are the current issues being reported, and who is fixing them? It is also very important to understand if you have the details on room, and if you see the room design and other aspects are available or not. If not, then there has to be a plan for a space survey, either remotely or by using physical presence. For design or for assessment, it is also very, very important to understand if the current facility team is engaged in some capacity in managing the rooms or not. How is the current support framework for the existing room, and who is supporting it? Also, it is very, very important to understand if any room surveys are required to be carried on, or do they have the latest inventory of devices, etc.
Now, when we talk about phase two, which is procurement, nowadays organizations are focused towards the pure as a service model. What that means is hardware plus software plus licenses plus support cost all baked into one single monthly cost. Which means there is no capex, only opex, which is very beneficial for the customers. Organizations are looking at a device as a service offer, which includes device refresh, decom, replacement with a new device every 3-4 years, depending on the warranty life of the device from an OEM. There are certain benefits like no upfront cost, device inventory is latest, etc. Also, the benefit with this offer is devices are not owned by organization, as either they are leased in the as a service model.
Yeah.
As a word of caution, device as a service is fairly new, and everybody is still trying to mature this offering, but it's still quite possible.
Absolutely. And when we talk about procurement, deployment is something that follows. So deployment is very straightforward, Ronak. This phase is primarily related to either service deployment, physical room installation, remote configuration. Here, please note that while there will be global standards that will be followed, however, the work will be done locally at the site. Hence, depending on the country, we might have to tweak our deployment approach for any particular customer, right?
Right. And phase four is around management, operations, and adoption. This is a beast of a topic in itself. There are many solutions to this, but providing this in a service solution, it makes it all consolidated from a support point of view. This management of meeting rooms involves usage of people as well as products together. We talk about we talk about reactive, preventative, and proactive support with a mix of on-site and remote resources, and using monitoring and management tools. Now, reactive would include a user opening up a ticket from a meeting room to inform about an issue. Preventative is around knowing the trends around user experience, usage of the rooms, etc., and then taking action to prevent future reactive tickets. And proactive is done through using a tool to understand the platform, to understand the device health, and also proactively fix without the user noticing the issue. Proactive is also done through people, where you conduct daily room checks either remotely or physically, and then fix issues. So for example, if you're using a Microsoft Teams device, then you can use Microsoft Room portal to proactively see if there are issues. If yes, then you can fix them. In the support structure, it is also expected that we continuously improve the service. In terms of adoption of the room, there are basic things that we can start with, things like in-room guides, run campaigns, flyers, elect champion in each side, etc.
Absolutely. Now, Ronak, that we have spoken about the site survey, the designing, the procurement, the deployment, as well as adoption and operations handling, let's not forget monitoring and automation. So once all of these things are done, in my experience, there are a number of requirements or prerequisites that a customer need to typically have for monitoring and automation of their meeting rooms. How can the rooms be monitored proactively? Can the firmware on the meeting room equipment be pushed remotely? Can we have more analytics on the room usage, etc.? So if I have to put a long story short, customers are now looking for proactive monitoring, room analytics, and remote management of the meeting room platform and the devices. If we talk about Cisco WebEx, we are looking at Control Hub. For Microsoft Teams Room, it is MTR Portal. For Zoom, it is Zoom Web Portal. Now, for the devices as well, Logitech has Logitech Sync, Poly has Poly Lens, and Yealink has YMCS. When we talk about management and firmware upgrades, we can also use the above portals for those things. Many OEMs also, Ronak, and customers are thinking to install IoT chips in the meeting room devices and in the physical meeting rooms as well for more clarity on the usability of the room. Now, this is very important as many organizations have moved to hybrid work model and so many meeting rooms may not be even required physically.
That's correct, Aparna. Obviously, these 4 phases were spoken at a very high level. We will do in-depth details or published sessions detailing each one of these phases. But I think just to continue on this one, from a meeting room platforms and the different hardware providers, as everybody knows, there are multiple meeting room platform providers today, like Microsoft Teams, Cisco WebEx, Zoom, 8x8, Ring Central, etc. The list can go on. From different hardware providers, there are meeting room devices, OEMs like Poly, Logitech, Yealink, DTAN, Neat, Jabra, Lenovo, and then Cisco creates their own Cisco WebEx devices. Obviously, it's important to know all of these names and the products they are publishing in the market. For example, Poly devices, Poly X70 can either be leveraged for Zoom or Microsoft Teams, depending on the firmware it's being deployed with, etc. It's so critical to know this, because this is where the thought leadership comes in, and this is where this is what the enterprises are looking for today.
Absolutely. And Ronak, if I talk about a real-time scenario, one of the customers I was discussing this with, he mentioned one thing that really caught my attention. Specialist AV companies and IT service providers, they need to work together to create a world-class and scalable AV offering. What it means basically is specialized AV companies lack the skills of IT service provider, and on contrary, the IT service provider lack the skills of AV vendors. Hence, to give complete meeting room as a service experience, these two need to come together. Leading this by example is HCL Tech, who have extremely thought out meeting room as a service proposition, which is backed by AV partners globally. Now, this solution approach has a lot of advantages like scalability, global reach, expertise, etc.
This makes total sense, Aparna.
Yeah. And guys, if you want to learn more, please feel free to reach out to us, me and Ronak, on social media. Well, again, this space is buzzing with excitement, and I hope all of you become a part of it.
There is a lot to talk about, and it could take us few hours just to cover this here. We will have a dedicated separate podcast series just on meeting room as a service to explain this in detail, and so that you can get more information out of it. Thanks for listening, and we'll come back with more content in the next podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.